Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Giglio, principal of Homestead High School, and I'm here with another edition of our weekly video message. This is for Friday, November 4th. So actually had sort of a good, happy accident happen here in that I've created a new survey because I was not getting very many responses in the last couple of weeks from the previous survey. So I did a new one. I did it based on just for this month, kind of an appreciation thing, like showing your gratitude, Thanksgiving. And got like 25 responses in like the first hour. So I'm going to try and I got through a bunch of these, not as many. So if you don't see yours on here, I'm going to save it for next week because I had just way too many to go through. This might be a little bit of a long video because we have lots of shout outs, lots of things that people are appreciative for, as well as some questions and reminders. So I'm going to try and get through this one, but hopefully you guys have some time to listen to some of the great stuff that's going on here at Homestead. So in the first question I asked, who are some people that you're grateful for? And so shout outs and recognitions, a whole bunch here. So I'm going to kind of go through them quickly, but you can also pause the video and take a look and read them more specifically if you'd like to see some of the good stuff. But there are several in here that are just generally to the staff, the awesome and caring teachers that we have, creating a safe school, rigorous classes, all that kind of stuff. Specific shout outs here for Mr. Guevara, one of our math teachers, and Mr. McMahon, one of our English teachers, for being kind and approachable, as well as humorous. Also, a thanks to Mrs. Bai, who's one of our Chinese teachers. This is, again, she clearly cares about her students and makes the class something my daughter looks forward to. Again, I said there's a lot, so you got to bear with me here. So Ms. Heaney is one of our math teachers. She's so organized, dedicated, and cheerful all the time. This next one goes out to the cross-country team, but they want to specifically mention Coach Seeley and Mr. Chow, who's the parent volunteer, for all the great work that they do to make the team a great team that it is. I was kind of thought this was a clever statement, but thank you for actually soliciting parents' opinions and are honest in responses, even if it's not pretty. Yeah, sometimes we have to go through some stuff that isn't and deal with some issues, but that's how we get better. So I appreciate people sending us that feedback so we can try and work on it, or I can at least try and explain what we're doing. We had two in a row here for Miss Zambrano. One is she's helpful and a great advocate for me. She is also super nice, according to the student. The other one said she's been an incredible support system. She's always there for her students, no matter what, understands her students' needs and how to help them beneficially. So thank you twice there to Miss Zambrano. One here for our music program, going out to Mr. Byrne as being a great instructor, and Miss Heller for organizing the marching band costumes. So again, much appreciation to them. This person said all their children's teachers have been kind and responsive to emails. Thankful for that. Big thanks to Sean Haratani, though, for being a teacher I can depend on and follow through when I email my concerns about a child. Next one talked about, again, a thank you out to me and to some other teachers, including PE teachers, Mr. Bostick specifically. Person just mentioned Mrs. Lloyd by name. Ms. Lloyd's our drama teacher. Mr. Almendarez, he got a couple in here, so he's down on the next page, I think, but he's an English teacher. In here is listed as a true teacher and educator. All teachers and staff, the principal, sports students, and event coordinators. Again, I told you, I think I got 2 more pages to go through here. So all the teachers my daughter has had last year seem absolutely awesome. I'm impressed with them, how above and beyond they go. Again, just a generic one out to teachers helping me know what to do in class. A shout out to Mr. Byron Lee, who is a business teacher and is in charge of our FBLA. And so again, showing appreciation for the work he's done there and building that into the program that it is. It's been amazing, as well as help from Mr. Logie and Ms. Carlson. This person had several teachers to thank. Ms. Heaney, a math teacher, Mr. Wright, our social studies teacher, Mr. Almendarez, there's his other one. Mr. Shelby is our computer science teacher, a computer science teacher, Ms. Nakamatsu, who teaches Japanese and PE, and Mr. Fung. All teach really well and explain all doubts and help me with difficulties at all times. I love them and really deserve a shout out. This person also said, grateful for all the great education from the teachers who pushed me to do better, with a special shout out to Mr. Nafrata and Mr. Lavelle. Here we are to the last page now. I am thankful for having a good physics teacher. My physics teacher is Miss Shreve, transforms the class would normally be boring and hard into an actually good class. So thank you for that. One going out to each of the 2 of the 3 French teachers that we have, Madame Ronsheimer for her kindness and patience, and Madame von Stein for fostering a love for the French language. There is another shout out later to the whole French department, so Madame Stanwood should also get some recognition there too. The other question I asked was, what are some programs, activities, events that you're grateful for? Again, a bunch of stuff listed here, so please bear with me as I kind of call a lot of these out. There's a specific call out to Homestead Cheer, Halloween event gets mentioned a couple times. Homecoming event gets mentioned a couple times. I'm glad someone wrote in here traffic reminders, because I do definitely try to put those out there all the time. So I'm glad people are reading them and are thankful for them. This person mentioned the free library craft projects that students do. They're great stress relievers. They're fun. So please continue them. And I'm sure Miss Grant and Miss McKeely definitely will do that. There's some fun stuff they do for all the different events that come up. This person said, I'm grateful for sports extracurriculars such as basketball and volleyball. Excuse me. Also grateful for the different clubs they can join and tutoring that's available. This person again had a list of things saying various programs like practice SATs, webinars, and sessions on college and UC admissions. Very helpful. Another person, this was different from the one just a minute ago, but mentioned FBLA. It's a great program where all three of my sons participated in it. So again, a shout out for them. Again, a generic shout out to students and teachers helping on work. This person mentioned the quality of education and overall student development, listed a bunch of other great things in there. But again, thank you for those. This person mentioned the variety of clubs, events, and meetings at school officers, and someone wrote down the drama department there as well, too. Again, as we continue going through, there's more about homecoming and rallies, a couple of classes that someone mentioned, Win one, AP Physics, AP Calculus. There's the French department saying they're the best language program around. Also a shout out to the admin team. So thank you for pointing out to them and all the work that they do. I also like this person also liked the course offerings at Homestead being very diverse and address the many needs. This person appreciated the excellent communication from school. And we have a big communications team that goes through our bulletin, our blast, our website, things like this. So there's a big team that works on that. So appreciate that they got a little shout out there too. This person mentioned how they appreciated a clean campus and the amazing staff who helps provide food for school. Both our custodians and our food services folks work a ton of hours and do a lot of great work. Our food staff is still providing 900 to 1,000 meals every brunch and lunch. So they're just doing a great job. This person had a whole list of things. They appreciated the sports program, great communication, safe campus where students can hang out. This one was about the leadership team, and I believe they were talking about the ASB student leadership team and all their collective efforts to run program and increase school spirit. This one was about robotics, support from parents and boosters. So you see a wide variety of things that people were really excited and grateful about. So thank you. Keep those coming. We'll try and keep the appreciation and the gratitude going. This next question was like, kind of what would you like to see and what would make you more grateful about Homestead? So kind of our suggestions area. I definitely have to kind of chuckle at the first two because they're about faster completion of the construction work and less noise. I think we could all appreciate that. Yeah, it is noisy. It does take a while. They're working as fast as they can. And I don't know that they're going to be able to go much faster than what they're doing now. They were even working some Saturdays and they were working some nights there for a while too. The person asked for a better student counselor ratio, more counselors. And I put in red there sort of that, actually this is the best ratio we've had in a long time or since I've been here. Because we got an extra part-time counselor this year. So we went from 4 to 4.5. We have 2,300 students as opposed to like 2,500 students that we've had in the past. So when it was 4 counselors to 23 or 2,500 kids, that was a little over 600 to 1. Now we're down to 500 to 1. It would be great if we could go lower. But again, I'm not sure if as we continue to decrease that we're going to be really getting more counselors. But right now it's looking pretty good. This person said it would be great if you could proactively provide extra help to students who are struggling with grades or concepts. And we do have programs here at school. We don't just automatically mandate that students go into. They do have to try and want some of it. Some of it we can schedule them into, but there are things like tutorial. We can put them into the mandatory tutorial. There are things like academic center and math lab. So again, hopefully there's a lot of ways that students can get some support. So either from their teachers, during tutorial, or maybe some of the extra supports. If you have any questions about what kind of supports can your student get into, please email their counselor or an administrator, and we're happy to help get you into the right one. This person had a concern about seeing students who bike without helmets or headphones and texting while biking. Please be careful, basically, and maybe we should partner with local police. You will see police officers out there. We don't partner necessarily with them in that. They do come out on their own time zone and time frame, unless we have a concern that's going on and we ask them to come out for that. But they do ticket kids, and their kids are getting tickets. But you're right, we're seeing a lot of kids without helmets or like I said, my pet peeve when the helmet's on the handlebars. That drives me crazy. This was, again, this person would be grateful if we could work on some of the anxiety levels of our students. And I would agree there's been a lot of issues over the last several years with pandemic and all the other things that are going on out there in the world that mental health has been mental health needs have increased. We definitely have been addressing mental health in a lot of areas that we hadn't before, from during tutorial where kids can take a break and do some mental health or mindfulness, wellness type activities. We have a couple of clubs on campus that are about wellness. We have a virtual wellness room, lots of activities that go on through that. This person was also kind of saying, it would probably help relieve them if they have, if you don't take away tutorials. And we do take away a few tutorials, but just so people understand, the majority of tutorials are still out there. If we didn't take away any at all, there'd be 108 to do throughout the whole year. But we do take away 10 for the advisories, although think about 5 of those advisories are on the subject of mental health. So again, kind of goes back to helping folks. We do take 5 out for rallies that we do throughout the year. And then we took out the first couple of the year this year when we were doing fire drills and run, hide, defend and that kind of stuff. But that still leaves, even with those doing those, that still leaves 90 tutorials. That's a lot of time for people to be working on during the day, some class time and getting some chances to talk to teachers. And again, I don't know that we're going to be adding more tutorials at this time, but I know that people, wish we did. And that's a good sign that it's being useful for kids. So I really appreciate that. More of the what would you be grateful for, saying, hey, make sure some of the comments are turned off on some of the Instagram pages that are out there for some of the clubs and whatnot. I will definitely talk to our ASB kids and to our club advisors about that one. Saying, could you make more spirit weeks? Things are a little boring. We'd like to see some more, maybe even focus on some of the special topics that are happening in the month. And, so again, that's something I could talk to our leadership kids about, and maybe even talk to our mental health folks or different folks about that one. This person said they'd be grateful if we could get more funding for the drama department. This person saying, and this one's a hard one, the multiple tests not given on the same day by different teachers. That's a pretty hard one to coordinate when you've got a school as big as ours, plus a block schedule where not everybody has the same class on the same days, right? That you can't say, hey, Monday's going to be math day because, well, Monday's not a good example. But say Tuesday's not a good day to get, or it would be the day that math people give a test. But if I don't have math on periods 1, 2, 3, or 7, then I'm going to have to take it the next day, right? So it's pretty hard to coordinate. But I know, again, if you just talk to your teachers, let them know that things are coming up, that sometimes they can switch things, sometimes they can't. But again, if you have a lot of things happening, definitely talk to your teachers and maybe they can help you with some of that load. Again, moving on to more things that people would be grateful to see happening, more informative sessions on college and universities. Again, someone earlier said that there were a lot of these and they were happy for them. But again, everybody has different needs. But definitely checking out our College and Career Center, talking to Shay Bellamy, who is our college and career counselor. Checking out her website. There's a lot of great stuff on there, but maybe there's some other things that could happen while we do. We definitely have a lot of guest speakers during the week while kids can go see different colleges. But it sounds like this is maybe a more of the generic overall process, so we can talk about that. Someone here asked about having chicken tikka masala for lunch every day. It's one of the favorite here at school, but I don't know if they can do it every day, but I'll pass that along and see what they say. Also asking about more places to serve lunch so that the lines are not as long. We do have 3 places where we're serving lunch, although the third place is in the stadium and it hasn't proven to be very popular. It's a great place to actually serve food because it's set up to be a food service area as opposed to a cart. But there are 3 this year where there were 2 last year. We are still serving, like I said, 900 to 1,000 kids. So there's a lot of kids going through the lines. But if you were here on campus and looking, you would see that those lines are empty after 15 minutes. So we are getting through all the lines. We are trying to monitor those lines. So it can get a little hectic trying to get everybody into one line or 2 or 3 lines. But we're definitely trying to monitor that. But we'll see about maybe moving the snack shack. That might be a possibility we look at. This person, again, loved all the senior events for the senior students who are seniors. Parents just would like, this parent would like some more and prominent and frequent communication about that. So again, I will talk to our communication department about that. These 2 I put next to each other because I know there's been a lot of conversation about these 2 things. We had an advisory plan that was possibly going to be about Roe versus Wade, sort of all the information about why this is a big issue among society today. What are some of the factors that go into it? It wasn't meant to be a advisory saying you should be on this side or that side of the abortion debate. It was really more about giving kids just some background information and understanding of why this was such a big to do. And so again, you'll see some people like, we need more of these. Some people say we don't like these. But again, we are trying to go and help, do topics that the kids are interested in. This was a topic that was generated by the kids. We didn't have it because it wasn't quite ready. We didn't think it was ready to go out yet. So we're still working on it. It may still come up later in this year. So again, keep your eye out for that one. This one was one of the traffic kind of things. Like, it would be happy if people didn't drop their kids off in the middle of the road at Homestead. We would too, because that's unsafe and it's illegal. So you can get tickets for that. So please be careful of that. So we got through all the gratitude part of it, but thank you. I really appreciate that. A couple of questions and concerns that came up too. So I want to make sure we get to those as well. This is from the previous, I think this was from the previous survey. But I would really appreciate it if students are given the choice of classes that they like rather than placement in any old class. I came late this year, but could not get any classes I wanted because of no spaces in class. And again, that's the issue right there. They said it'd be wonderful to see changes in the policy. There's no policy saying if you come late, we're not going to give you any classes. But you do, by the way the whole thing goes, we try to save some spaces in classes. We try to anticipate some of the movement that might happen, but it's pretty hard to determine. And especially if you're requesting classes that might be a singleton or a doubleton, meaning they're only offered once or twice in the calendar, they're probably already full, so you may not be able to get into it. So again, not really a policy, but it may be a factor of scheduling. And if you do come later in the year, we can't always give you all your first choices, but we definitely try and do that when our students are signing up for classes in February, March, and April. This was a big long question, so I thought I'd just put the whole thing on there, and it was long, so I blew it up this way. But parents on the parent mailing list are asking for tutor recommendations. I'm assuming this is the PTSA form they're talking about. Even from the first couple of weeks of school, do kids really need multiple tutors? Is my kid who's not getting a tutor other than me, mom, that is, going to be at a disadvantage? Is she going to be able to succeed in AP classes if she's just smart and not trained outside of the classroom? If so, how many families need tutoring, blah, blah, blah. So you get the point of this one. Again, not every kid or subject requires a tutor. I do know that people are feeling competitive about where their scores are and if they're the best in the class or getting an A or over a B. And so maybe some people who before didn't need a tutor still want to use a tutor because they are trying to improve their grades. I would say if your kid is talented and they are able to do the work and they're able to have a growth mindset, they should be successful in the classes. Now, again, your idea of success might be different than my idea of success. So that's where sometimes this need for a tutor comes in. I am also a little bit concerned that tutors, they're a business, right? So they're trying to make money. And so they make money by getting you to sign up for their courses. So, it's been a marketing saying, don't let your kid fall behind. Again, I think we do a pretty good job of preparing kids for other classes in college and whatnot. But again, there's a variety of reasons why someone might need a tutor, but there are kids who can thrive without a tutor. So I think that's something you need to be aware of. We do have resources on campus, though, if you're looking for that, like we talked about in the academic center or the math lab. And sometimes in mandatory tutorial, we also have some parent tutors in there. But the state of California did just open up some free 24/7, tutoring where you allegedly can log on at that first link there and get a free tutor to help answer questions or help you with some homework, that kind of stuff. You can also go through the Sunnyvale library link. So again, I include these PowerPoints with the email, so you can click on those links and should take you right to there. So check those out. Let me know if those work or if there's anything good there, but that's the state of California just opened that up. Cold and flu season is definitely here. We are seeing kids that are coming in with, sniffly, sneezy, all that kind of stuff. And the experts have said this is going to be a tough season because of everyone had been wearing masks. Now they're not wearing masks. So there's some backlash from that. Please still keep kids home if they are sick. May not be COVID, but we also don't want the whole class coming down with being ill. If you want some COVID tests, we definitely have some around the office. You just need to ask us and we'll be happy to give them to you. I do want to point out, though, that we have gotten a couple notifications about different students having whooping cough or pertussis. And again, that's a pretty highly contagious disease. If your kid has got a lot of coughing going on, please get them checked out by the doctor. They should not be here on campus. Again, best thing, if your kid's not feeling well, let them stay home, let them recuperate, and then bring them back here, and our teachers will work with you to get them caught up. Um, we've had a bunch of requests for guest forms and kind of some last minute panic here with guest forms. So thought I'd explain this a little bit. Typically, if your son or daughter wants to go to another school to be in their dance, that school will require the guest to complete a form that gets signed by you, the parents, and gets signed by us, the school. Our deans handle that whole process, so you should bring that form into the deans. They're going to look over things like, how's your attendance, what are your grades like, do you have missing work, do you have any discipline going on. If there's some negative stuff going on, they may not sign it, because again, we have to prove that you're in good standing and that you would behave yourself once you're there. So but again, for the most part, we do sign these because we have really good students. So if you can expect, if you turn it in the morning, by that evening, the end of the day, I mean, you should be able to get that back, but sometimes it takes 24 hours. Don't expect an immediate signature, though, because a lot of times kids just walk up to us while we're in the middle of something and say, here, can you sign this? Well, we have to go through a process to check you out. Excuse me. So, again, just don't wait till the last minute. Don't come up and say, I need this signed right now, because we may not be able to accommodate that. Also, something that people forget is that the parents should be signing this first. So you as the parent should be telling me, the school administrator, that you want your kid going to Wilcox or Mountain View. And then if they're a student in good standing, we'll go ahead and sign it. Realize that if there's an issue at that school, your kid shows up under the influence, or they get into a fight, or the date gets into a fight, they're going to call us and they're going to say, hey, there was this issue and you just need to give them some school consequence. So we have gotten kids that have gotten discipline and consequences for something that happened at another school, because that, again, is still within our purview. So but please, we want you to go have fun. We want you to go experience a lot of those things. Those are great parts of high school. Just make sure you give us time to get it processed and signed, and then you behave once you're there. Our traffic reminders, as I talked about, I love doing these every week, but unfortunately this last week we had a student who actually got their rear tire of their bike got clipped by a car. Fortunately, nobody got injured, nothing was hurt. Or at least the bike, I think, might have gotten a little damage, but again, they both stopped and talked, made sure everyone was okay. We talked with the office, was able to talk to them. So again, great, thank you for doing that. But just a reminder to bicyclists to not ride in front of the horseshoe. That's a really scary area. You should either be using the access road, or if you're coming from sort of like the Nick the Greek side of life, coming from from Stelling on. If you're coming from sort of the Los Gatos area or down Mary, you should be using the Mary Street Bridge. Again, wear your helmet. That's an issue that we're seeing. Again, cars, if you're driving, know that we have a lot of bikers that come here, so please make sure you're keeping an eye out for them, as well as a lot of just community members who ride bikes up and down Mary Street. And also, bikers, please don't ride through the parking lots. The music department asked me to promote their band and color guard fall home show. It's happening on November 17th. It is free, although they will accept a donation if you come in, because you're going to see a lot of great stuff. You'll get to see their whole show. You'll get to see a special performance by the Homestead dance team. You'll also be able to see their senior night. So it's kind of a cool thing to see. So it's here at the stadium, November 17th. Come on over and check it out, and you will not miss, or you will not be sorry that you did, because it's a lot of great entertainment. Coming down to our important dates, the biggest thing I want to point out is we got Veterans Day happening next week. It is on a Friday, not the Monday. So basically, this is the schedule. You can see it there. You can also get it at our on our website. We're basically, since there's no school on Friday, we are getting rid of the skinny Monday and just pulling the Friday and putting it on the Monday, right? So Monday starts weird. It's periods 4, 5, 6. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are normal schedule. That's how it goes. Friday, there is no school. So hopefully that makes sense to all of you. But please make sure you pay attention to that, because that's happening next week. Again, important dates here again. There's really nothing new that I've added there. So if you've been watching this, you will know all this stuff. But again, if you haven't, you can pause here and take a look and see some of the things that are coming up through the end of the semester. And then those last couple of dates are sort of when our semester ends, when the next semester starts. So again, thank you all for coming and sticking around for this longer one. But please make sure you're also sending in responses every week. We're looking for more information and more stuff that we can talk about. So we love the gratitude, we love the appreciation. So we'd love to be able to mention the things that you're appreciative for. So again, thank you. Have a great weekend. Know that the time falls back this weekend, so please make sure you set your clocks, or reset your clocks, I should say. And we look forward to seeing you on the Monday. Take care.